What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. I had to take some time to do this post-game video because, surprisingly, I was really annoyed by this loss. The Jets are now 3-9, their ninth consecutive losing season, and even in 2015, they didn't make the playoffs. But you're trying to figure out, like, what are you rooting for? Like, going into this game, you're like, the season's pretty much over. Do you root for the tank? But then if you root for the tank, you want to see a competitive loss. So you got that today, but it wasn't really competitive. The Seahawks tried to give the game away, and the Jets couldn't capitalize. Or are you in that group where you want to see there's a glimmer of hope to make the playoffs if you win out, then today you're disappointed? So what are you even rooting for? I mean, I just want to see quality, competitive football. But then when you watch the game play out, the Jets come out firing on all cylinders. Great touchdown for Davante Adams, Isaiah Davis, a 99-yard kick return for a touchdown. And you're like, this is great. You're seeing high-level stuff. I'm like, maybe for one day, Jets fans can enjoy football. And then reality set in. And it was the perfect synopsis of the season when the Jets are up 21-7 and Aaron Rodgers misses a wide-open Garrett Wilson in the end zone. And the following play, Leonard Williams, yes, that Leonard Williams, to pick six for like 92 yards or whatever it was back. And that was when the Jets face adversity, they melt. That's been the storyline all season long. They give up, I think it's like 19 unanswered points, and it was a complete fiasco. So in games like this, in a season like this, you try to figure out, what do you look forward to for the season? Like, what's like, maybe we can find building blocks, guys that are playing, above their pay grade, or whatever else. But the one thing I realized, and I've been saying it all season long, is Aaron Rodgers is done. He's not a part of the future. He can't be. I don't care what he wants to think about in the offseason. He has to move on. This offense does not have a bread and butter pass play that he can consistently complete. Not the screen pass, not the slants, not the fade pass, nothing. If he was relatively healthy today, more mobile, still inaccurate, still inconsistent. It's just not working, man. And it's like, these are guys that he should have chemistry with, Davante Adams. Then you have Breece Hall, a guy that we all count on like he's a very good player. Playing injured, which is already a question. When you have a young player that's banged up, why are you playing him in a relatively lost season? When you saw already glimmers of hope from Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. They're forcing him out there. They're trying to get him involved. He's got 2 fumbles. One huge, costly one. He's got 6 on the season, which is alarming, which means the next coaching staff has got to put a premium on ball security. The wide receivers have their, Garrett Wilson is grossly underutilized. The offense, the scripted plays on offense made sense. You saw a lot of motion. Corley was involved. Allen spreading the ball around, looked good. Once the scripted plays were over, it went just haywire. They didn't know what in the hell was going on. Offensive line, Morgan Moses is a warrior. He gets banged up. Carter Warren had to come in. And I think at this point, when you're at 3-9, you've got to make decisions what's best for your organization going forward. Morgan Moses is a warrior and deserves so much better to be on a winning team. I'd say, listen, man, get healthy. Just on the IR, get healthy, bounce back, and get a contract next year for someone else. Let a young guy play. C.J. Mosley, the captain of the team, the heartbeat of the team, trying to come back from a serious injury. No sense doing that. Youth movement. We love you, CJ. Sit it out. Get healthy. Get your contract for next year. Anybody like that, it's just let them move on, man. It's just better for both sides. Because the problem with having an interim head coach and an interim general manager is there's really no power structure hierarchy. Everybody just going through the motions to the end of the season. But at some point, you need to evaluate who you have in the roster for next year. And that should be a mandate from up top. And listen, not making the playoffs, it's over. I need to get tape on guys that haven't really played, so when the next guy comes in, they can actually see what we're working with. That means more Corley. I mean, Gibson, whatever with him, I'm kind of over his experience. The play calling will never make sense to me. Like, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough to really rip on the coaches because they're all getting fired. But you literally had plays where wide receivers are running into each other in big spots. Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson running into each other. On the sideline, Garrett Wilson and Gibson fighting for the same ball. It's like, they're not well coached, man. And the play calling is bad. They're not well coached, and the execution is poor as well. You had a ton of penalties. The first half, it was clean. Second half was a complete disaster with offsides. And, the one call, the Davante Adams call, pass interference, is wild. Usually the high-level wide receivers never get that called in him. He got offensive pass interference. But you had offsides on Leonard Taylor, offsides on Will McDonald. You had a horse collar at the goal line. You had, whenever the Jets made a good play, they always followed it with a bad play or a stupid play to ruin it. Defensively, Will McDonald had 2 sacks. It's great to see him back after not doing much for the last couple of weeks. But it's like, what are you looking for on defense? Now, again, the youth movement again. Reddick has been relatively an unknown. Like, it's sad. Carl Lawson's doing more with the Cowboys than Reddick's doing with the Jets. There's not a lot, man. There's just, Carter's been banged up. Sauce played pretty well. DJ Reed's struggling. But, like, DJ Reed, he should have been traded at the trade deadline. He'll be gone next year. They're not going to pay to bring him back. You have no safeties. It's a disgusting game, man. Like, you look at it, you don't understand why you even want to watch it anymore. There's really no, you feel bad for people that go to games. Like, they get all excited, and then you watch them completely melt and collapse once again, and you're like, all right, now what do you look forward to next week? The Jets don't have a young quarterback they can play. And you have Aaron Rodgers talking about the wind. The guy played in friggin' Lambeau. Like, at some point, the Jets can say, you know what, let's put Tyrod in to see what he can do. I understand he's a veteran quarterback. Maybe it'll give our team a spark. We can actually maximize the abilities of Garrett Wilson, maximize the abilities of Devontae Adams, and whoever else. But overall, garbage. Pure garbage, a lost season. Now it's just a matter of hopefully the Jets can find a general manager and a coach and turn this thing around sooner than later. But it's hard to have hope, man. This is not easy.